Oh,
I want to talk about.
are we recording now?
I guess.
I want to talk about how people call me buddy.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that.
It's
Yeah.
really irksome.
Yeah, Chris has some really weird
I don't
pet
think,
peeves.
I don't think they're weird.
Well, you have very specific pet peeves.
I don't think we have to hold it that close to our mouths anymore.
Oh well, that's what I'm used to. Hopefully it's not too loud.
Oh no, yeah, that's way too loud.
Oh, is this
How's
good?
this?
I just whatever's comfortable. I think will be fine.
Dude, nice.
Sweet. All right. Well, yeah, this is a very special episode of the Uneducated Statements podcast. Oh, I'm just saying that because every episode is very special to me.
Hey.
Anyways. But yeah.
Every episode we do, it's more special than the last one.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is the Uneducated Statements podcast. I'm Andy Abode.
I'm Mark. I'm just gonna drop using my last name.
That's fine.
I feel like
And,
people know me by now.
We have a very special guest with
Heyo.
us this week, Mr. Chris. We'll just leave it there.
I feel
Jumbo.
really special, actually.
Yeah.
Shit.
So tell us a little bit of tell the audience about yourself, Chris. We have a big following in Japan. I don't know if you've been keeping up with
the
the
Nippon?
podcast.
What,
Yeah.
are there like two people in Japan that listen to
No,
it?
just fucking everyone. Everyone in Japan loves us.
Oh, nice. No, I'm from San Diego, 23 years old. Went to college with
Stop looking at me.
with Andy. Why? That's how I normally. What am I
That's how
supposed?
he talks to people.
Yeah, wait. I have a question. Theoretically, for this, like, who am I even talking to for this podcast, though? You know what I mean? Like, it's all new to me, so you're gonna have to walk me through it.
About 6 people. That's who you're talking to.
Okay.
Now. I feel like it's
No, well, 6 people plus the entire population of Japan.
sure.
Yeah.
Are they really people though?
Why can't I look at you? We're
I
having
think
a
I'm
conversation, like no shit, right now.
This is really weird. This is way
What?
too. This
Yeah,
is
Ben.
way too intimate.
Andy.
All right, I'll go here. Okay. Anyway, should I just start over?
No, just keep going. So 23.
I'm
from San
Chris, I'm
Diego.
23 from San Diego. I went to college with Andy, and I met Mark today. Actually,
Have we met before?
no, I think we met before because I went with Andy to the comedy thing. So
I just see a bunch of like clean cut white guys that are like taller than
Yeah.
him, and I'm like, they
Well,
all like
once-
kind of like blend in. I'm like, okay,
once when we were there, he called me and my roommates the Abercrombie and Fitch.
yeah.
Guys. So
Oh,
I
that
was
was
in-
that was Berto.
I was
right?
in that group. Yeah.
I think it was Javi, the fat guy.
I forget who it was, but we got like reverse heckled.
That's actually a good way to put it. Yeah, no, Chris is actually our first guest that is not a stand-up comedian, but I think he's a very funny dude, especially in conversation. I always enjoy interacting with him, except when we're watching movies together, because he fucking talks the whole time.
That's only when me and Andy went to college with another guy, and whenever we would watch movies together. All right, to be fair, it was only like bad movies. Like,
It was every movie.
yeah, well, then we just watched shitty movies together.
Well, then you just have unreasonably high standards.
okay. What about the movie Devil that we watched?
Okay, that movie
The
fucking
movie
blew.
fucking sucked. And then I watched Tears of the Sun with Dan. A lot of people like that movie. It was me and Dan in that whole room. Have you
don't
seen Tears
remember.
of the Sun, Mark?
I have not seen that.
Dude,
no.
all right, so the plot. Let me like run through the plot really quickly.
Okay.
So like Bruce Willis is a Navy SEAL with his team on an aircraft carrier.
Wait, I love it
And-
already.
Dude, okay, so like it's in Africa, and this like warlord runs through this village and just like starts massacring everyone. And then I believe it's Tom Selleck is on the aircraft carrier, and he's like we need to put a stop to this. Like, Bruce Willis, you're going in. And then I saw this movie like 4 years ago, so this might be like the plot points are a little
That's
off.
fine.
Anyway, Bruce Willis and his team like fly into the village, and there's like a doctor there, like some woman doctor, and they get there and it's like all this dramatic music with like all these dead bodies, and Bruce was like, oh, this is fucked up. And then there's this woman doctor. They take the woman doctor with them, and then from there it's like they just go to kill this warlord, but like it's just so over the top and like melodramatic. Like I didn't give a shit about like any of the characters. Like Tom Selleck's making his cell phone calls from the top of the aircraft carrier, like as they're doing ops. Like he's just like talking to Bruce Willis. Like it's pretty funny.
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Yeah.
How's the op?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then he was like super stern, like you need to like what, I don't know, dude. It was I didn't like it.
Do your best, Tom Selleck.
So that
Go.
was Tears of the Sun. I can't.
I don't even know what a Tom Selleck impression would be.
Yeah, me neither.
They did both. They both dated Monica on Friends.
Yeah, he did. I'm Tom Selleck. I have a mustache. There we go. Good enough. Let's move on. No, we actually just watched a really good movie, though, I think. You said it was your new favorite, right? This no.
I didn't, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
Top 5, top 7.
Out of the 30-minute movies I've watched on YouTube, I'd say it's definitely in the top
Hey
5.
man, it's
That
on
was only-
Netflix. It's legit. So we just watched Kung. We just watched Kung Fury. For those listening, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I highly recommend it. I've watched it twice now in 24 hours. It's only a 30-minute movie, and as ridiculous as it is, 0 plot holes. They explain the bare minimum, and there's a lot of cool it's just like a big parody of like every single 80s movie like packed into just 30 minutes. And there's guns, there's music, there's like computer hacking, there's Lamborghinis, there's Miami, there's Hitler
And Hitler.
and a fuck ton of kung fu. Oh man, it's so good. I'll leave it at that. You guys should just go see it. But I don't know. Well, were you playing the drinking game?
No, I walked in like the last 7 minutes. So there weren't very many explosions, nut shots, and what was the other one?
Well, okay, so the Kung Fury drinking game is actually very good for those of you that like drinking games. It's let's just say you drink every time there's a cheesy one-liner, every time someone says Kung Fury, every time there's an explosion, every time there's cheesy 80s music, every time what else? Every time someone's hit in the balls or shot in the balls. And I think that's it. Did I mention the explosions? Yeah, every time there's an explosion, you drink. And if you do that, you'll just get like super fucked up in 30 minutes. I don't know if that's your thing, but
Dude, I
more
was like,
power
have
to
you
you.
guys played the Rick and Morty drinking game?
Ooh, what's that?
You watch Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, all you do is whenever Rick says Morty, you drink. That's it. And it's like,
yeah, you get
dude,
fucked.
you get fucked. I went through like 3 beers in the first episode's really bad. There's like 120 some odd times and he says it, and it's like, yeah, you just get fucked, dude. It's awesome.
Well, that's because the guy, what's his name, Dan Harmon or whatever.
Yeah.
He says he.
Is that his like his cue to like get into that character?
Yeah,
Okay.
he always says he's been talking about how he like tries to break the habit, but he says Morty a lot when he's Rick because he has to like remind himself that he's in the character of Rick instead of Morty. So by saying like Morty, he's like, okay, I'm talking to Morty as Rick, and it's just like a mental like
Yeah.
reminder or whatever.
It's gotten better. Like, definitely the later episodes, like, it's not as bad.
Well, I wish it was
But
worse because like
I think it's so funny,
so
dude.
funny.
It's
yeah.
so funny. It's so like off the cuff too, you know. Like,
By the end of the episode, everyone's just going like, oh, wubba lubba dub dub.
dude, I wanted to be Rick for Halloween.
Dude, I'm still so disappointed that you weren't my
I
Rick.
was so salty. Yeah.
Sorry to Zach if you're listening. You're probably not. Fuck you, Zach. Just kidding. So actually, for Halloween last year, Chris was supposed to be Rick and I was supposed to be Morty. But
Which like works out with body types too a little bit.
yeah, pretty much like just short me, and then Chris is tall and skinny and alcoholic. So,
Some would say.
some might say, but he ended up not being able to, and so our buddy Zach took over as Rick, but Zach just like got drunk and like left me alone, so it was just guy in a yellow shirt for all of Halloween. Super lame.
It was really shitty, actually, dude. I was like, I was salty at him that he didn't like interact with you.
Girls were like, "Oh, what are you supposed to be?" And I was like, "Do you watch Rick and Morty?"
Like,
And they were like, "No, what is that?" And I'm like, "Just fucking, I just didn't dress up."
It just
Okay?
ended up looking the laziest Halloween costume ever.
They're like, "Oh, so you just didn't dress up?" And I was like, "Nope." And they're like, "Oh, so you just wear like white Velcro shoes like normally?" And I was like, "Yeah." Who cares?
Dude, that was like one time I remember my best friend in elementary school. Like, I was like a pretty good student, but my best friend was like not. And we had like, do you guys ever do this? It was like you dress up like a literary character on one day of the year, and then you like parade around the school. Dude, I don't know. Maybe I think it's normal because we did it. I don't know if I've ever talked to anybody about this. Like,
No,
Really?
I've never done that. Sounds
Yeah.
cool.
I've never done it. Yeah, it does sound cool.
It was kind of tight, yeah. Like, especially when you're little, you know, like
Oh, yeah.
you just dress, yeah. But like anyway, I dressed up. I forget what I dressed up as, and then my friend didn't. But like, you got to miss class while you were doing the little parade. So like, he took a sheet of paper and he wrote like a grade sheet on it. And then he was like, because there's this book called like the grade report or something, and it's like this girl gets all F's and like her parents are pissed, so like that was like the book. And then he went to our teacher who knew that he was like a fucking like shyster, and he was like, "Hey, this is my costume," and she's like, "No, it's not. Sit the fuck down."
Wait, what is shyster?
Shyster, you never heard that?
No, is that a California thing?
No, it's actually, I heard that from somebody that we went to college with to describe Grant
Who?
Page. I forget who he was talking, but I think it was
I don't know what the word means,
Sounds
but
like
Grant
just like-
Page is definitely
yeah.
a
So
shyster.
shyster is like a shady person who's just trying to like he like is like a bullshitter, like a pro bullshitter who just
yeah,
like
okay.
shifts his way to like, get whatever he wants or whatever.
Also, we don't need to edit out that name. That doesn't matter.
I mean, pretty common name. I didn't catch it, but sure.
Oh no, my bad.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Anyway,
I'm definitely guilty of.
Name dropping.
Yeah.
Hey, we live in this city. I went out with this person.
Here's her full
fuck.
name. Yeah.
Here's exactly what we did.
here's where she
no.
lives.
No, I did leave that out. Thank God.
Did you? Goddamn.
I did. Yeah. The one thing I could reveal it, but I'm not going to. Anyway, so shyster. Who said that? Like,
Ryan Keys.
oh, fucking Big Tuna, bro.
Dude, Big Tuna to describe Grant Page because he was talking about how Grant hit a cell phone when we first got to college, and
Oh, right.
and they were like, hey, like, yeah. Well, here that's actually
I know what you're
that's
saying.
actually a really funny story. Like,
Go for
I don't
it,
know,
man.
we can just edit it out, whatever. It's gonna take like 30 seconds. Basically, they were like to fuck with all like the plebes. They were like, hey, like if you like, you can't have your phone, right?
At
And
first,
they're
yeah.
like. And they're like, just to fuck with them, they're like, hey, like, we know, like, one of you has a fucking phone, like, bring it out right now. And they didn't think that at all. They were just fucking with them, you know? Like, we know it, like, we're gonna fuck you, like, if you don't bring it out. And then Grant Page, like, sticks his hand out, like, goes into his room and brings out a fucking phone.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, what a poor idiot.
Yeah, we can edit that out, though.
No, we don't need to. That's fine. Let's see. Yeah, so we were talking earlier about a certain pet peeve that you have. I don't know if you want to. Mark
yeah.
might be able to relate to this. But
So, okay, so, like, I've noticed a trend in the past, like, couple months, and I don't know if it's specific to here or not, but, like, whenever I go to Target or, like, whenever I go to, like, a Chipotle, like, sometimes, I'll say, like, 30% of the time, the cashier will, at some point in the conversation, call me buddy or
Fuck
bud.
those people.
Dude, right?
Oh my
right? What the fuck? Like, dude, I knew I wasn't crazy. Okay, everyone I've talked to, every time I brought this up, everybody has been like, yes, I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
Like, and like, what the fuck, dude? So, like, I talked to my little brother about it. Okay, well, first, let me tell the story that, like, was the tipping point, right? So, like, I just got done working out, and I was going over to Freebirds to get a burrito. And when I walked, this is how much it bugged me. It's like, when I walked in the door, I was like, he's not going to call me buddy. Like, I'm going to ensure that he never calls me buddy. So I, like, had, like, a super, like, positive, like, stature, and I, like, lowered my voice, and, like, it was going all good. And I was, like, calling him, like, bro, like, to, like, get on his good side, right? And we got through the whole order. And then the last thing he says to me as he hands me the bag is, like, all right, yeah, have a good night, bud. And I was just, like, crushed, dude. So, yeah.
I would take Bud over Buddy.
They're both
Really?
offensive.
I know that's a book,
Yeah.
but it's Bud, not Buddy. My grandma knew me. I fucking hate being called Buddy.
I hate
know
it too.
one. I know one guy, like, he'll even, like, if he puts a comment on Facebook, he'll end it with, "Oh, thanks, buddy."
I was talking to my brother about it,
Oh, that's
and
infuriating.
we both think that it's a subversive way to gain power in a conversation. But, like,
Yep, I can see that. I can see that.
because you're not going to be like, hey, what the fuck, dude? Like, why'd you call me buddy? He'd be like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, there's still plausible deniability there, you know? But I'd so much rather some dude just be like, hey, have a good night. Fuck you. Like, because then because then I could be like, hey, fuck you. Like, we know what's up. Like, let's cut the bullshit, you know?
Yeah, like we're Australian or something. We're just used to
That's
cussing
how
each other
they
out.
always end their
Have a
conversation.
good day, cunt. Like,
Hey.
cool. See you later, cunt. All right.
My brother worked at Chick-fil-A, and I told him about this, and he was like, yeah, the same thing would happen to me at Chick-fil-A. And around the third time, like, I just started, like, fighting back, and how he would fight back is, like, he'd call him guy. Like, he'd look him in the eye and he'd call him guy. So he'd be like, thanks, buddy. And he'd be like, no problem, guy. And, like, look him in the eye like that. And he said that, I was like, did anybody ever, like, respond? Just, like, one time, like, this dude came in who's, like, 35 years old, like, to get food for his family. And he took the bag and he was like, all right, yeah, have a good night, buddy. And Ryan was like, yeah, no problem, guy. And he, like, looked him in the eye, and the dude was, like, turning away, and then he, like, stopped for, like, half a second, and, like, turned back and looked at him, and he was like, kind of like, did something happen? And then he just, like, turned and left. Like, and my brother was, like, staring him in the face the whole time, and, like, he like did like a slight nod, and he was like, "Yep, like,
Yeah.
just go."
The distribution of power has shifted.
Dude, that is exactly how he described it. That's so funny you say that. It's like the guy was like, "Has there been like a power shift here?" Like,
Whoa.
The tables have
Yeah.
turned,
Yeah.
guy.
dude, my brother told me so many. Do we want to talk about something else? We can,
No, keep going,
Talk
dude.
about fast food. Yeah.
My brother told me so many funny stories about working at Chick-fil-A. Like, I've never worked at like a fast food place or whatever, but like I imagine it's like
Oh, it's gotta be
it's gotta
shit.
suck, dude. Like, just like the way people treat you. But he was telling me that like, and I'm sure anybody who has worked in retail has had like similar experiences. Like, there's like they took coleslaw off the menu, I guess, and people would come in and like they'd be like, "Yeah, I'll get like 2 like chicken sandwiches and like coleslaw," and be like, "Oh, like I'm sorry, but like we've removed that from the menu." And it like
What?
And it was like the front offices in like Atlanta, like the head of Chick-fil-A like has removed like coleslaw, and they'd be like, the people like get upset with him. They'd be like, "What? Like, what do you mean? Like, how am I supposed to like eat my chicken without my coleslaw?" He's like, "I don't know. Like, sorry, like we don't have any." And he's like, "This is unacceptable. Like, let me talk to your manager."
This is unacceptable. I'm gonna go support the gays now.
Dude, oh no,
Was he there when that
no
happened?
shit. Oh, was he there? Oh no, he wasn't.
That
but,
big shift happened.
yeah, but he said that some people would come up, and like after their order, they like lean into him and be like, "Hey, like, really support what you're doing," and he'd be like, "All right, like."
I'm just trying to make $9
Yeah,
an hour,
exactly, dude. And like he totally is like not that way, so he'd be like, "All right."
That's super surprising that would happen in California too. that
I
people-
remember when that happened. Like we only have, I guess we had 2 Chick-fil-A's at the time, and they were just like lined up down the block. Like you could not get into Chick-fil-A
Really, because people protesting, or because people were just
because
like,
people were supporting.
"Oh
Yeah,
wow."
I heard the same thing. I heard that like down in the South too, people would fucking like get their meals and like sit at the little plastic tables and like pray like
Yep.
as a family. Like,
I can't imagine someone just like grabbing a paper bag from some like 16-year-old like pizza face kid and being like, "Thanks for the chicken sandwich, buddy. We're gonna like, stick it to them fags." Like,
more or less, that's what's happening. Oh, that's coffee. It's coffee. I'm good, dude.
I'm
Thanks.
good. Yeah, I can't. Oh my gosh, that level of like
Dude.
ignorance and like bigotry is just
Ridiculous.
It blows my mind. I saw a truck recently that had a bumper sticker that said, "I'm with Chick-fil-A," and I was like, either you're fat or you're a homophobe, maybe both. Like, what's going on though? And so I was like really curious as to like what kind of person this was, and so like, I sped up and pulled up next to him, and it was a dude with a like a camouflage baseball cap with like a fishing hook on the bill, and he was just wearing like a cut off T-shirt, but he had just like fat fucking arms that looked like hams. And I was like, "Yep, this is par for the course. You are both of the things I imagined." I mean, I'm sure this guy wasn't like, maybe it's not fair to assume, but in this case, I think it's safe. Like, I'm pretty sure this guy wasn't saying like, it was like, "I'm really all about them homosexuals getting married, but I support them, but man, I can't stay away from them chicken sandwiches."
I just like them waffle fries way too much. Mhm.
Well, it's like nobody has a sticker that's like, "I support McDonald's," or like, "I'm with McDonald's."
Right?
Like,
Yeah, exactly. No
Yeah.
one likes McDonald's that much.
Maybe they do.
So I had
don't know.
this thing happen, and it first happened to me at Chick-fil-A actually. You ever get like a sandwich or like a burger that just tastes like it shouldn't? Like I at Chick-fil-A, I got a chicken sandwich, and it just tasted like lemons,
Really?
like way
Weird.
too much lemon.
Huh?
And then last week or this week, I went to Whataburger, got a patty melt, and it like the cheese tasted like oranges,
Oh, I saw.
and I
your
had like the
Facebook
worst
stuff,
diarrhea. I'm just like still having like stomach problems from that.
Sweet.
Dude,
Good to
fuck
know.
that,
Dude,
yeah.
the fuck.
I remember I went to like Amsterdam when I was in middle school, and I remember I was trying to be adventurous and try new foods and stuff, but I was there for like however many weeks, 2-3 weeks, and I remember there was one day for lunch I was kind of like, "Hey, I kind of want something familiar," and so I went to the McDonald's there. And I was like, I'll just get like a hamburger and some chicken nuggets. Not a big deal. And
mayonnaise, like the shit. Bleh.
no, the hamburger literally tasted like ham though, and it was really weird.
Huh.
It wasn't bad. It was just like this isn't how like beef is supposed to take.
When I had the sandwich at Chick-fil-A, like I actually had like a pretty bad like panic attack after it. Like I don't know if it like
First
like I thought I was gonna die. I was like, oh fuck! I was sitting in
But you
traffic.
kept
like,
eating it.
oh, for sure.
I think that's the bigger problem.
I was really hungry. No, it happened after I finished. I guess I ate it too fast or some shit. I don't know. It was
I
just
blacked out. I don't know what happened.
blacked out.
I was really hungry.
Ooh.
That would freak me out, dude, to eat like a hamburger that tastes like fucking oranges.
It tastes
That's
like
never happened to
I don't
me.
know what it was. There's a cheese, like they use like some sort of sauce on it. There's a patty melt. So,
Interesting.
Which Whataburger did you go to?
on Staples and Baldwin.
Okay.
So,
Dude, the one on the
West
island
side.
is money. Like,
oh yeah,
dude, that one's the best. I swear to God. Like,
The-
it takes a little longer to get your food, but the fries are always super hot. Like, which is like obviously the most important thing because like I hate when you go to McDonald's or whatever and they're just like cold, like fucking garbage.
I'm pretty sure this is like the third or fourth time we've reviewed various fast food restaurants.
it's
on
always
the
Whataburger.
podcast.
It's always Whataburger.
Oh yeah,
included.
this is at least
we
like
should get a sponsorship.
I think this is probably the third time we've talked about Whataburger on the podcast.
Yeah, probably.
I think the first one we published, we talked about Whataburger.
It's actually
Man,
pretty
yeah.
good, dude. I didn't believe the hype.
But
It's pretty good.
okay, let's talk about something real. And
All right.
I know we're gonna have an argument about this.
Perfect.
Literally every single time I've had In-N-Out,
Can I-
I've been very disappointed.
oh shit!
Oh,
I
yeah?
can referee.
Dude,
Well-
yeah, please.
Mark's on my side. I know that for sure.
I'm kind of on. It's not great. It's not like, oh man, we're gonna go to fucking Austin. We're gonna have In-N-Out.
All right, first off, where did you have this In-N-Out?
Austin
Okay,
and
well,
San Antonio.
okay, well, that doesn't count.
I've had it in California too.
Okay, well, that's what I'm. How was your experience in California?
Terrible. Oh well, I went to the In-N-Out like right outside of LAX.
Okay, I've never been in that one.
It was just very underwhelming.
Describe it. Describe like your complaints exactly.
Like I know they pride themselves on like fresh ingredients,
Mhm.
but everything felt like it was like it tasted like it had been sitting under a heat lamp for like a long time.
Really?
Yeah, I got like the double animal style with fries. Fries were cold, tasted kind of stale.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, dude, I think you just had like luck of the draw, like shitty experience. Like
Well,
that happened in Austin too. We had shitty fries in Austin.
I don't trust the Texas In-N-Outs.
The buns were
Yeah.
good. The buns were really
But
good.
yeah, buns were money.
Uh,
Wow, what is this podcast? We should just rename it.
It's like fat asses. Like, oh, dude, this one piece. You
All right,
fucking
no,
annoying
fuck
foodies.
it. We're so done with this. Anyways,
I agree, dude. You should get moral of the story. You should get In-N-Out again in California and try it again,
yeah, we'll see.
A specific one, specific city.
dude. I mean, like I only know
Intersection.
the ones closest to my house. The one close to my house is pretty good.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yeah. If you go to San Diego, tell me, and then I'll tell you which ones to go to. I guess they're like all
Cool.
the same.
Anyways, yeah, enough about fast food. Fuck that.
That was my one contribution. That was the one thing I wanted to talk about today. Was my orange tasting
Nice.
Whataburger sandwich. So, laissez-faire for the rest of the podcast.
Dude, I know what we should talk about.
What's that?
Dude.
All right.
Magic
so,
the Gathering.
Let's talk about close. Let's talk about how people treat waiting staff at restaurants.
Oh,
Because I want to see if like I am more sensitive or like about middle of the road with this. Like
yeah, because we had a weird interaction with our waitress last night when we went to dinner.
that's kind of weird. Yeah, I had like another specific one in mind, but like okay, so
Go
let
for
me be
it.
more specific. I'd want to know like if it bugs you when people are rude to waiting staff as much as it bugs me. Okay.
Absolutely. I think so much less of a person if they treat like their wait staff poorly.
I totally agree.
I feel weird if like they're just like not even like a normal courtesy. Like, let me look you in the face. I'm like,
Dude,
oh hey, I
right?
want a hamburger.
Yeah,
like, you're
exactly.
Like, I want a hamburger. Like they're looking down. Like they won't.
Dude.
Like what? What?
Okay, so
Say a little thank you. Be like, okay, yeah, I'll have this. Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, with the fucking flour tortillas.
okay,
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna name names, but I went
Yeah.
I went to dinner with somebody. Let me describe exactly what they did, and then let me get your thoughts on it, just to make sure that I'm not like.
You already know
overreacting
my
here.
thoughts. We'll talk to Mark about it.
Yeah.
though.
Okay. So went to dinner with this person who is a friend of a friend, okay? And we order normally, and then the way that she orders is she's looking at the menu, doesn't look him in the eye, and she goes, I'll have the like potato soup. And the waitress is just like, okay, and then she just like hands the menu, like doesn't even like look at her, right? So like strike one, like look another fucking human in the face and like treat them like a person, right? Okay, and then
Yo, maybe she's autistic. You cut her some slack.
Dude, could be. Then the kicker, all right? So, like, she's been rude to, like, the waitress this whole time. Waitress comes back at the end of the meal, and she's like, how is everything? Like, and you're not really supposed to respond to that, right? Like, unless there's something I've never had anyway.
Put it in your mouth, you're like,
Yeah. So she goes through the whole meal, and then she's like, oh, yeah, actually, this soup was kind of cold, like, and the waitress is like, oh, okay, like, I'm sorry, I'll get that, like, taken off your bill. She's still not looking at her, and she's like, yeah, thanks. Like...
But didn't she
thoughts?
Didn't she eat the entire soup?
No. So like credit to her at least a little bit. She like had like a couple bites of it, but like we waited for like the entire meal. Thoughts?
Yeah, fuck that chick. She can go to hell. Like, so whenever like I go to a restaurant,
She's doing
after
everything
ordering,
she can to not do that, but you know, whatever. Anyways.
after ordering, I'm like, okay, let's for sure go in like at least a counterclockwise or clockwise fashion. Let's hand the menus all to like one person. So like the waitress or waiter just had to be like, oh, let me get all these fucking menus. And like at the end of the meal, I try not to like leave like a huge mess. Like try at least like put all my napkins and shit on one plate.
For sure.
If not, like stack them for him. Yeah. So like I really don't get that like, oh, you're my servant today.
Yeah, dude. It just like it really I don't know, but like it bugs me to the point where I'm like, okay, if I went on a date with a girl, like a first date, and they treated waitress staff like that, like. Never again would I see you. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, even more so than that, I would be a huge dick about it, and like,
yeah,
I'm not, I've never, been shitty to anyone I've ever gone out with, and that might like speak to the quality of like
just how amazing of a person you are.
Well, no, speak to like the quality of the people I go out with, but like you know, it's not a high number, you know. All right, fuck me. I sound
quality over quantity. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but I sound like a huge douche now, so it's too late.
Anyways,
wait, let's switch to dating tips from Ben Creed.
Yeah,
dude, this is actually an interesting topic. You guys have like so I've been going out with a girl for like over a year now, so I haven't been on a first date in a while. Oh, all right.
Hold the phone on that.
Okay, we'll table that.
If someone treated like if I was on a date and someone treated our waitress or waiter like that, I would say. Hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back, and then just leave.
Would you really?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
No way.
Yeah, just no questions asked. Wow. I would just peace out.
I feel responsible, and like I feel like I'd have to like stick it out for the benefit of the wait staff. Like I'd have to like stick it out to be like nice to the wait staff, like make it up to them, like, oh, this shitty person might still stay here.
I definitely like you know just give like my waiter or waitress like the money filled high five. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
and just like pay for my stuff with the tip and just be like, yeah, I'm fucking out of here.
I don't know if I'd do that, but
good
yeah,
luck. Yeah,
that's fair.
Here's a cool Andrew Jackson. That's my half. Bye.
I just thought it was funny in movies growing up when people would try to bribe people and they'd be like, oh, perhaps Mr. Lincoln can change your mind.
Maybe Mr. Hamilton.
Well, my friend Benjamin Franklin has other ideas.
Oh, Ben Franklin's too. That's too much.
Yeah, it's too much, Ben. You missed the bit, dude.
The Hamilton or the Lincolns.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
Dude, come on.
Well, I mean, maybe they're bribing them for something important.
Who are they replacing Andrew Jackson with? They're replacing him with someone, right?
Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman.
Okay, I was about to say Sacagawea, but she's like on the dollar coin.
She's on the dollar, yeah. She's on the coin. Yeah.
Harriet Tubman, though, she's a real motherfucker. She
Underground Railroad.
She never. Well, I mean, there's that, which is like fucking huge.
Follow the drinking
That's
gourd.
crazy, yeah.
And our quilts are actually a code. Anyways, no, Harriet Tubman never learned to read or write, but she stole some like southern plantation owners. She like killed this southern plantation owner, stole his boat. And then like manned the boat with like slaves and like African American sympathizers, and just they rode up the Mississippi, just shooting cannons at fucking slave owners'
Fucking
plantations.
awesome, dude.
And just fucking they'd like roll up like the Mississippi and like hop off and then like burn plantations to the ground and like free a fuck ton of slaves.
Fucking badass. That's so tight.
Yeah, she like never learned to read or write, but she was like a fantastic like boat commander. Just oh my god, she was cool. Anyways, she deserves to be on the 20, even though Andrew Jackson was like the most badass president ever. Dude, are you kidding me? He killed like 13 people in duels.
Dude, okay, yeah. His policies
like
are
20 million Indians.
Oh yeah, that too.
I'd say that his policies are suspect at best.
Sure.
Like definitely not cool what he did to Native Americans.
yeah, okay.
Pretty fucked up, but like
Dude,
if you segregate that from the rest of him,
well, I'm just saying as a person. He was a badass.
he's definitely a tough motherfucker for sure.
Yeah, he got shot like 3 times. He was like 50 Cent.
Yeah, he's
president.
he's a pretty hard dick motherfucker for sure.
Hard dick motherfucker. Yep, that's Andrew Jackson. Anyways,
Did he also trash the White House? You know that
yeah,
story?
yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that's
Oh
kind
my
of tight.
God.
Yeah.
tell it though for our listeners.
Well, basically, like when he got elected president, he was like, "I'm the people's president," and like was like, "So like we're gonna have a party at the White House," and everyone came to all these people came to the White House and just threw a fucking rager and just like trashed it like the first night he was there.
Yes.
Yeah, which is pretty badass.
Yeah, absolutely.
all the cool stories I miss out by being educated in Texas.
I feel like he'd be like, I don't know, kind of heavily taught, I guess. Like,
I don't really remember.
no, okay.
I went to shitty schools my whole life, so.
Well, you graduated from college, so you made it out alive. You're fine.
Yeah, but like that puts me in like the top 5% of Corpus, which puts me in like
Yeah, I know,
the
that is
bottom
kinda sad.
50% of the rest of the nation.
No,
Where'd you go to college, Mark?
Right here, fucking A&M Corpus.
Oh, nice, cool. Oh, dude,
I wouldn't say nice.
Oh, that's good. Nah.
It was okay. It was decent.
Yeah. I
Eh.
mean, it sounds like you did pretty well getting your engineering degree there.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, dude, you got an engineering degree? Nice.
Yeah.
What kind of engineering?
They only have mechanical here. Well, they
Dude,
have.
I think mechanical was like the most badass of all. Well, maybe electrical, just because I suck so much.
I
at
fucking hate
things
electrical.
engineering.
Which one? Did
Ocean.
Ocean
I was
engineering.
engineering,
Okay,
which
cool.
is like not even like a major. It's like caught in like 3 colleges, like something like that. But like,
Ocean E.
yeah, still engineering, I guess.
Yeah, whatever. I just got an English degree.
I wish I got an English degree though, honestly.
Yeah, like I feel like for like what I'm doing now, which is like not working. I think it'd be cool to have an English degree and be like, oh, I have all these stories in my head.
Yeah,
Or, like,
you'd
I
be-
know words good.
Yeah, you'd be way better at writing jokes.
Probably.
I don't even know
actually.
if an English major makes you a better writer though. What are your thoughts on that?
Ooh, wow.
Maybe more of a pretentious writer. I feel.
Ooh.
That is
Fair.
100% true. Better writer. I think it kind of like reins you in as a writer, if that makes sense.
Makes you like more focused.
Yeah, because you really like focus on your style and your like the direction you take with your writing, based on like what you study.
Okay.
And sometimes it's like based on what you study, and other times it's like in spite of what you studied. You read someone and you think, I want to write like this person, or I never want to write like this person.
You're talking about like reading just because you get a breadth of like all the books you read. Like,
Yeah, and
you're exposed to more things.
you really dissect it. You really just like kind of beat a dead horse when it comes to writing styles and
okay, that's
like-
dude, that's fair.
like the structure of like famous authors' writings.
Like
so-
dissecting the craft.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think there's a lot to be gained from that. But then again, I do think there's something to be said for people who, just have like a passion for writing, but don't read a lot, and just kind of develop their writing styles like to their own taste. Without any outside. What's the word?
Like influences.
Yeah.
Can
there
you
go.
name anyone off the top of your head that was like that?
Those like that?
Because like I was thinking like Bukowski, but like I don't know if I don't even know how much he read. I just know that he wrote like that's like all he did was just like write like a shit ton.
Well, I mean, you can point to the unique authors like that and say like, they probably didn't have any outside influences, but they did.
I'm sure they did. Yeah.
And you never really. I'm pretty sure you can never know like to what extent like authors are influenced by others. but you can point to people like Hemingway and say, he was an insomniac. All he did was read. He was probably just an amalgam of just different thoughts and ideas from what he read, on top of what he believed and was interested in. He was probably refined by all the reading he did.
Sure, yeah.
But then there's people like Kurt Vonnegut, who I feel like, he was just this rampant force, in writing, and he read quite a bit, but I feel like he tried to steer away from like everything that he read, and was just saying, okay, like I've read this, I'm gonna try and be different from this and everyone else, and which is exactly what he did. Like I remember recently reading, he wrote an essay on the Requiem written by Pope Pius V in 1590, and it was like a really famous thing. It was the thing that kind of kicked off like the Requiem trend or whatever.
Of course,
yeah. No,
obviously.
we're really getting into weeds here. I should probably just stop talking.
I'm starting to
Hey,
fall
Ben,
asleep over
yeah.
here.
But
Would you stop reviewing my first grade class?
But no, Kurt Vonnegut like read this and was like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna write my own Requiem," and then just wrote this just like ridiculous thing to the same music, and then had it translated into Latin. And he was like, "Yeah, no one fucking knows Latin. No one's gonna know the difference, even though like my thing, like the meaning to the thing that I've written is just absurd."
Must be nice to like have so little to do that you write a requiem and translate it into Latin, and then be like, "Yeah, this is my job now."
Yeah, I don't know. He was really proud of it.
Dude, I don't know about like English majors being like, generally like worse off than like any other major, because I feel like in general, what's the fucking they say like 5% of the people do like 95% of the winning. So like that's in competition. So I feel like that's kind of in general for life. Like 5% of people are like get like 95% of that fucking
Success, yeah.
Notoriety and
Yeah.
success.
Oh,
So
okay, so like out of 100 authors, like 5 of them will like be successful. Is that what you mean?
yeah, I feel like maybe
Okay.
for like writing in general, that's probably like even less,
Probably, yeah.
because everyone's like, oh, let me put this fucking I don't know, like what's equivalent
Twilight
deviant
fanfiction.
art for art or whatever, but
Well, because I mean,
Etsy.
there's even authors who, they'll be, they're very great at what they do and they're well respected by other authors, but they don't get the popularity.
name one. Go.
I can't remember his first name, but Algren.
On the spot.
Oh, dude, Thomas Algren.
I don't think it was Thomas.
Dude, Andrew Algren.
No, it was,
Dude, Eugene Algren.
Okay, you need to stop.
Dude, Ulysses Algren. Dude, Hector Algren. Okay, I'll stop.
So, anyways, this guy, he was he taught with Kurt Vonnegut at the University of Iowa in like the creative writing courses, and Kurt Vonnegut just loves talking about this guy and how he was amazing as a writer, and probably I'm pretty sure he said on a couple occasions that Algren was like a better writer than him.
So Wikipedia says the character first appears as Dark Elf Algrim, the strong in Thor.
Algren,
I was gonna say hashtag number 347. So Dark Elf.
Oh, so he like
Is that not him?
No,
No. Oh, I'm sorry.
Algren, Algren.
Okay.
Not
I kind of hoping it's Algrim from Thor.
Algrim.
Algreen.
Anyways,
what is going on?
I have no idea what's happening here.
we're really getting the weeds here. We need to stop.
I have a subject we can talk about.
Dude,
What's that?
we're only
I
cool
wanna talk
40
about-
minutes in.
I want to talk about first date rituals.
First date rituals.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Going out at night,
Yeah.
every night to do comedy open mics, you don't really meet a lot of nice girls. You don't really meet a lot of you don't meet a lot of like girls in general. So first date
I find that
rituals
hard to believe because you're doing comedy at bars.
in Corpus and like around.
My roommate's really just he's playing.
Is he home?
Yeah, dude.
I've been here for 3 hours. I thought that we were the only ones here.
No, he's been playing World of Warcraft like the entire time. Yeah, dude. Fucking do what you love,
That's funny. Wait, anyway. I feel like because you do comedy. Okay, so you're saying because you go to the same bar every time, like you've seen everybody there.
No, I mean, there's just no one. That's sad. There's no one there
Yeah.
ever.
Let alone someone desirable.
I mean, so you go out to a bar on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
It's 9 p.m. You're there till 11 p.m.
Yeah, that's fair.
Who's gonna be out at a bar at that time?
Yeah, it's not.
You go to a bar on a Thursday night, 9 p.m. to about 1 a.m. maybe.
Dude, I don't know. Like, I kind of like going out to bars on weekdays because there's like no loud music playing and you can like talk to people. You know what I mean?
That is
like,
true, but I mean,
But you gotta bring the people generally. I mean, in Corpus especially with like
yeah, I guess it depends like where you go and like.
less than half a million people.
Yeah, that's fair.
and I mean,
Even if you go to like a bar near the university, say like Recess or Out of Bounds, for some reason there's like no one there ever.
really,
I mean, Out of Bounds is different, but Recess, like, the most people I've seen there, I see people at the beginning of the semester, lots of people, and then when we did the comedy showcase, there was lots of people there because we brought all of them. But
that's true. I'm really excited for the next one, by the way.
oh yeah, I'm hosting.
Yeah. Oh wow, yeah, that is
Sweet. Congrats, dude. That's awesome.
That's big for you.
Ooh, it might be weird.
Yeah,
I might just make it as weird as possible.
Yeah, I'm not jealous at all. I know like hosting is like.
I got like loads of free time though, so like I can promote it. I can make flyers, make videos, edit shit together. So
Yeah, I know hosting is somehow like a super important part of comedy, but I never want to do it. I never ever want to host.
I feel like it's not. So like if you go up and like you go and do your act, right? You go up there and like, okay, this is me. I'm just here to do 5 minutes. You can actually go up there and be like, okay, I want to tell this joke, this joke, this joke, and this joke. When you're hosting, you kind of have like other responsibilities you have to fulfill. Like
So you're not like in the right mindset all the time.
You just can't really do necessarily what you want to do.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
You know, you got to make sure that everything's in order for everyone else to be successful.
Okay. I
So
see. Yeah.
you don't even have to be like super funny. You just be like, hey, like really charismatic, happy, like, hey, we're gonna do a show. Start clapping and
Kinda
shit
like
because
the unsung hero of the
yeah,
comedy show.
yeah, that's very true. But like imagine like so, the whole like one of the main goals when like you go up and you are doing comedy on stage is to like convey who you are as a person to the audience in however much time you have. But imagine being the host and only getting like 1 or 2 minutes at a time.
you're more of a
Yeah.
facilitator.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you have to be likable from like the very beginning. You know, you can't build them up into like getting to know you, into liking you and stuff. You have to just go out there and be like, boom, here I am, fucking like me. And
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like not that hard though. If, you know, I feel like people generally are just gonna like you like
yeah,
at first. You know,
maybe.
There are some.
I've never done it, so I don't know how hard it is.
There's like the kind of like, I don't want to say star power factor, but like the fact that you're on a stage with a spotlight. Like, oh
Yeah.
shit, he's got to be important. He has a microphone. Oh, he's got to be something. Like, why him and not me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in the
That's
audience.
if not me, then who?
If not me, then who? Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know. The recess show is gonna be cool. I've always had fun with those, but I don't know. Chris, what's I think we kind of skipped over this. What's your first date ritual?
Oh yeah, we
all
kind
right.
of.
Dude, I'm just interested in everybody else's because like I'm wondering if you guys have some because like I know that like I haven't dated for like I've had a girlfriend for like the last year, so like I haven't gone on a first date in a while. But like when I was like in the dating scene or like whatever, like I definitely had like I don't know. I guess like I wouldn't call them rituals, but just like. Like it's like a weird thing like going on a first date, you know what I mean? So like just getting like pumped up for the first date or like in the right mindset, I guess. Like do you guys have like stuff that you do or like
I dress with clean clothes.
Yeah.
And maybe shoes
actually,
that aren't, like,
you know what's
shoes.
funny, dude? This is my first date outfit right here. I wore this to like every first date I wear the same outfit. That's like one thing, I
Wait,
guess,
so
for like a ritual.
Is this like a really weird roundabout way of you trying to tell us that you're attracted to us? Is that
This
what's
whole
going on?
thing's been a setup. You just got played.
Yeah, you've really lulled us into a false sense of security. Oh shit.
In general, just like I try not to do like an activity that's like can be a long-term commitment or not long-term, but like an hour or so commitment. Like if I hate the person like on first impression.
Oh,
or,
really?
like if I can do like coffee somewhere near like a lunch or
Yeah,
like dinner
that's pretty
time
ideal.
and be like, oh hey, this is going great. You want to go get something to eat? Like
Yeah.
that's pretty good. But I don't want to be like, let's go eat for sure for a first date. Like,
Really?
I don't. I mean, in case the fucking waitress thing happens and you're a total cunt,
Yeah,
you're like,
that's
fuck.
true. Yeah, I'd say it's definitely not ideal. But
I actually try and do multiple activities on the date, but I don't reveal them all.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so at any point, like during the
Oh,
date, you
yeah.
know, it's like segmented, so I can break it off.
dude, yeah, I'd kind of do the same
If I
thing,
want to,
guess.
you know.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I kind of have that like ejection handle. You know, I could say like, hey, let's get some coffee, and then we'll go do like go-karts,
right.
and then we'll go get dinner. But like I have that in my mind.
Right.
And so if at any point I want to say like, oh, I want to leave now, and
I have a thing. Like, yeah.
you're like, oh, we just got done with coffee. Like, oh, yeah, you know, sorry, I gotta go. I had a lot of fun. Just like, you know,
That's dope. Yeah.
we should go out again. Blah blah whatever, and then we won't. Or like, you know, if something happens like during like go karting or whatever, like, or she's like not into that. You know, it's like, oh, like I'm never gonna have fun with you. Like, fuck it. Like after that.
You're not into go-karts? Deal breaker.
Well,
Fucking deal breaker.
this is a poor example, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you segment them so you get to know the person, and if at any point you find something that you like are really really turned off by, you can just like peace out, and it wasn't like, you know,
It's not weird or anything. Like,
yeah, because you know you've definitely like found a firm stopping point.
Yeah, I feel like too, like sometimes you can like connect with a person, but like it can just kind of like drag on, like the day can just like drag, you know what I mean? Just because like you don't know, like you're hanging out with like basically a stranger for like 3 hours, like that's just like too much time. I think sometimes.
Goddamn,
like,
3 hours?
Yeah,
3 hours on a first date?
dude. With my girlfriend now, our first date was like 6 hours. But that was like obviously the best first date I've been on. So
The
like,
last girl I dated, like I think we had something like we went to get coffee, then we went to get dinner, and then she's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" I'm like, "Oh, I got to go to this open mic." She's like, "I'll show up to the open mic." And the open mic like didn't happen. So like, "Oh, let's go to this pint night." Then we did
Okay.
that. Then we went to go walk my dog. Then she turned out to be like a crazy bitch.
like how so?
Like very like. I guess like no a crazy bitch. Because like she still like goes to places where I go, even though it's like, hey, this isn't gonna work out. We should
Like, she's,
like,
like, stalking
stay away
you.
from other. Kind of.
Oh, we're talking about this chick.
We're talking about her. Yeah. Is she crazy?
Oh, 100% crazy.
Okay, thank you.
Well, maybe not crazy, but she has some issues, man. She needs to
Okay,
deal
cool.
with them.
Anyway, I don't. I
Dude,
feel
that's
like
wild. I've
feel
never
like
had a
I'm-
girl stalk me.
Yo, she might stalk you so much that she might listen to this podcast.
dude. Oh my. Oh fuck! I didn't even
Our
like
7th listener.
realize that.
Along with the entirety of Japan.
Well, like she's acquaintances with someone else
Who
that
was
we
a
know.
guest on our podcast.
That was okay. That also does comedy.
Oh,
It's
so
like
it's
she
like weird.
she kind of has an excuse to be there.
Yeah.
But it's like, why keep doing this to yourself? Like she hates seeing me. Just
Yeah.
hates like
But-
the side of me.
But
like,
she will show up every single time as if Mark's not going to be there. And then Mark shows up and she gets visibly uncomfortable. And she'll stick around for 10, 15 minutes at most.
she will start slamming drinks.
And then leave.
What did you do to this woman?
Nothing.
I touched her butt.
Yeah, they made out once and he
that's
touched her
it.
butt.
That's it.
Weird.
I guess
I guess maybe she really liked you.
I'm a very bad kisser, I guess.
No,
No, I think it's the opposite.
I'm pretty sure she's super clingy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, that's not fair.
Best of luck to her.
Yeah, she's super religious.
The way we got here though is like 3 hours for a first date.
Well, okay.
Is that too long or is that long enough?
I
feel
think if it's a good first date, that's a good amount.
I feel like we're the advice column in 17 magazine right now.
Well, yeah, and I don't know why you guys are like looking at me like I have all the fucking answers.
I'm just
Bruh.
looking at you because you were talking.
You got those sweet cargo pants on, so
Yeah, these
of course you
pants,
had all the
these
answers.
pants look great. No, they're super comfortable though. That's all that matters. Fuck everyone else. I don't care what I look like. No, I actually went on a date and man, it was just like a hey, let's get coffee thing, and this was the last first date I went on. And we went and got coffee and we ended up like talking for like 4 hours. You know, great conversation the entire time.
Dude, that's sick.
And it was
She's
really
like-
cool. Like I thought we like really connected.
I'm into black dudes. Sorry. Peace out.
No, but then she just like, you know, I was like, hey, we should go out again sometime, and then she just like never talked to me again.
Yeah, that's weird.
Charles
Wait,
want to be on the
it-
podcast?
you know, it was like, you know, I like like she was very engaged. Like either she's like an Academy Award winning actor, okay, or like
Oh no, yeah.
that's the only explanation to like if she wasn't like into like the conversations we were
That's
having
very strange. Yeah.
when we got together, and can't explain that. Maybe like
Honestly, maybe she's like not looking for a relationship.
maybe,
Like maybe she just like wanted to like have
She's
something purely physical, and then like you guys are connecting, and then she's just like, well, nah.
well,
She's like, what a
honestly,
faggot.
I actually had like a really, and like this still fucks me up. Okay, I'm about to get super personal on the podcast, so if you don't want to listen to this, you might want to turn off the podcast.
I'm leaving. Bye.
Okay, bye, Mark.
I don't think anybody's listening anyway at this point. So.
Wow. Yeah. I started talking about Pope Pius V, and everyone was like,
Yeah, that was.
Everyone-
everyone was like,
everyone hit the stop button.
as soon as you said it led into the Requiem trend, I think that's when everybody.
Yeah, whatever.
Or as soon as I started talking.
Not for me. Yeah.
Anyways, oh god, this is gonna be weird because my dad listens to this podcast every week.
Then don't talk about it.
No, I'm gonna talk about it.
Okay.
Hi, Mr. Creed.
Oh shit.
Whatever. It's happened. It's happened like
Oh
5
shit.
times in this
Well, we can just
podcast.
edit it out, right?
Yeah, we
No,
can just edit it out.
Nah, fuck it.
Hi, Mr. Abode.
Anyways, so I went out with this chick when I was living in Annapolis, and it was our first date, and we went to see a concert together, and then afterwards we were gonna go see a comedy show at midnight in DC, but like we got done with the concert, had some time in between, so we went to this like it was like a bookstore / cafe to get some food, and we just like started talking. And we kept talking like so long that we like lost track of time, and it was like 2 a.m. and we were in this bookstore. And she was like, "Oh, we should probably get going to the comedy club, right?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure." And I checked the time and I was like, "Oh, it's 2 a.m." And she's like, "Really? We've been talking for that long?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so, we went through the bookstore and we like exchanged like books instead. Like, "Oh, you'd like this book, from what I know about you now. And you'd like this book, blah, blah." And so we traded books, and then we went back to her place, and like we were just like talking the whole time, just like great conversation, like really connecting on this like really cool level. And God, that sounds so gay.
That's not gay.
That's kind of gay.
I don't know, man. That's like the point of a
I'm
date.
sorry, that's deep.
I
That's
guess.
deep, bro.
I guess, but
No, dude, I don't have any feelings ever. I don't connect with anyone.
yeah,
I'm
okay.
a lone
I mean-
fucking wolf.
I guess.
Fuck that, dude. That's the point of a date.
No, honestly, yeah, no, we were like really connecting on like every level, and it was like really weird for our first date, but I was super into it, and we go back to her place, and yeah, she put on no, she put on Led Zeppelin 4 on her record player, and I was like, wow, this chick might be the one.
Dude, I think she did some research on you before.
I don't know about that, but she put it on, and I was like, man, she might be the one. And then like we went into we were in her room, and she just had like stacks of books everywhere, and I was just like incredibly turned on. And then she like started making out with me, and then we hooked up,
and then you whispered in her ear, "Talk to me about
Requiem.
the Requiem."
No, but afterwards, oh man, and it was great. Like I'm pretty sure it was like the most rewarding like sexual experience I've ever had. Which, God, that's so weird to say out loud, let alone on a recording. But no, it was super cool, and
Nice.
then she started talking about how she was gonna like go do a year abroad in Denmark. And
Oh, I remember this girl.
yeah, and she was like, I was about to leave, and she's like, "Look, I really want to see you again, but I'm kind of afraid that like we're gonna fall in love with each other. So probably just should never. So we should probably just never see each
Dude,
other.
that sounds
again."
like a
I'm good.
movie.
I'm gonna cry. Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, I mean, fuck all that. We should probably just hang out until you leave." And she's like, "Yeah, I leave in 2 weeks. Like, what do you want to do in between then?" I was like, "Well, I mean, we could like, just, I don't know, hang out or whatever.
That sounds like either the beginning of a romantic comedy or the end of a Hemingway novel.
Oh, that's yeah. I don't know. Anyways, it didn't work out.
I mean, not yet.
With you. Keep going. Keep going. I'm gonna keep singing.
So yeah, that was over a year ago. So I tried getting back in touch with her recently after I knew she was back in the States, and
Take
nothing.
I'm making it weird. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop. Stop singing.
Well, yeah. I mean,
which kind of makes sense. It's probably for the best. I don't know. I was super into it.
How
though.
many Y's did you put in that hey message you sent her?
I did not say the word hey.
You fucked up.
Yeah. No, I just I'm pretty sure the the text was like how was Denmark? I assume it was great. I've actually like thought about you quite a bit while you were gone. That's probably weird to say, but I really enjoyed spending time with you. I don't know if you'd be interested in doing that again. Blah blah. And just nothing, no response. Which makes sense. It's fine, but I had to try.
She probably dropped acid a couple times when she was overseas, and like her brain's all addled now. So it's not the same person.
addled. That's a cool word.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Addled?
Yeah. I
Addled?
don't think I've
Altered.
There
really.
you go.
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's like my go-to word when like I say people do a lot of drugs.
Yep.
Nice.
Their little meth-addled mind.
That's a good word.
Addled.
Anyway, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
That's
whatever.
like always a bummer. but-
Man, we got way too real on this podcast.
What do you guys usually talk about? I listened to like 30 minutes of one of them. I was telling Ben. I don't know what you guys usually talk about. It sounded like it was mostly like comedy stuff.
I mean,
Or fucking god damn it, dude! I suck at this.
Don't worry about
that's
it.
all we do. I mean,
We just edit it out? Wait,
Well-
hold on. Wait, let me say that same sentence again,
okay.
and then I'll say that, and then we can just pick it up, and we'll just edit it out.
Sure.
I'm not editing that. That's too much work. That's way too much work for me.
I'm fucking you, dude. I'm sorry.
Dude, it's okay. Our fans will figure it out. It's fine. I'll eventually make the transition.
To be quite fair, though, you do publicize it on your Facebook under your real name. So
Hey, you guys, I'm doing comedy. My name's
who is this man who
name-
sounds exactly like my friend?
Yeah, maybe I should just like cut the shit right now at the end of this podcast to see who's really listening.
Like at the end of Iron Man,
yeah, whatever.
first one.
Yeah, fuck it.
I'm sorry. I feel like I
but we
fucked
still
up.
have like 5 minutes left, so maybe let's think about it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll do
Yeah,
that. Anyways, continue.
on back burner.
Chris.
I don't even know what I was talking about.
What were we talking about on this podcast usually?
Oh yeah, what do you talk about usually?
A lot of people try to have like themes for their podcast, which I guess we try to like have a theme or like play games with this for a while, but like we just kind of like talk about shit we do,
Yeah,
Like
I think
like mumblecore style.
which is mostly like we do mostly stand-up comedy.
right.
and
I mean,
that's pretty much
that's typically like the most relevant topic, but
Yeah.
we kind of decided early on that having like themes and topics and segments or whatever was restrictive, and we just rather have a more like organic conversation,
It's cool.
and that we're generally funny people. At least we like to think so. So whatever we talk about, we'll figure out a way to make it funny.
Usually Andy gets super racist though. I do not
Yeah,
feel comfortable.
just fuck me.
at all.
I hate people that don't look like me.
He hates people of color,
Absolutely.
any color that isn't white.
Um,
Which white
Yeah.
is like all the colors. If he is black, that makes sense because
right, because that's the absence of color.
that's the absence of color. So
right. Anyways,
that's what we talk about on the podcast.
yeah. Actually, speaking of which, on one of the podcasts, I talked about my experience on September 11th for like 20 minutes.
Did you really?
Oh yeah,
Wow, dude. That's pretty
Did we
fucking deep.
publish that one, or was that a beta podcast?
Dude, I don't know.
Was that? It was like super deep.
Yeah, it was like way real,
Dude, that's wild. Yeah.
which is like kind of relevant since tomorrow is September 11th.
That may
Dude,
have
on
been-
September 11th, I always like, I don't know. I mean, this is like pretty deep. Like, I always take like some time and like just like watch videos. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like everybody does like something like that. Like, I don't know.
I don't.
Dude, it's fucking yeah.
I mean, like, a lot of us were so far removed from that, though. So it doesn't
That's
really
that's
matter.
very true. I don't know, man.
For me, it was just like super real because I was like living in New York. But I don't want to get back on the.
Really?
I don't want to get back on the topic.
Dude,
We
tell me
can
about
talk
it.
about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Offline.
Dude, that's crazy.
Hey, Rich.
What up, boy?
Hey. Should I
No,
put
we're
another
actually about to
mic on
leave.
this? Should I put a fourth mic on this so you can
Dude, what are you playing?
pop in?
What are you playing?
Overwatch? Oh, I thought you were playing World of Warcraft.
Did you ever play League of Legends with Luke? Yeah, Luke. Alexander Vicious.
No,
Dude,
Luke's probably
he's-
garbage compared
He's
to.
super into
No,
it.
Rich used to play League of Legends like on a professional level.
Fuck, dude, that's crazy.
He's way good at that game. I'm very proud of him.
All right, should we start wrapping this up or?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we hit about an hour.
Is it time?
Yeah,
Dude,
I
I'm
mean,
Oh, shit, yeah. Fuck.
I want to say I'm very like honored to be on here. Like I'm glad that you thought of me to like bring me as a guest. I feel like very special. So
Absolutely.
thank you.
you are a special person.
This was fun.
Make
Had
no
fun.
mistake. We'll have to bring Rich on the podcast
How's
at
the
some
record-
point
Oh, we're good.
if I can ever convince him to. But
Cool.
do you-
I didn't hit stop. You want to
oh yeah, so
close out?
yeah, this has been the Uneducated Statements podcast. My real name is Ben Creed.
Okay, shit. Okay.
So
well, my name is Mark Ebertowski. It's not Joseph, so. Oh yes. Sorry, Steve. Edit note for me there.
and
And this
My
is
name's
just
Chris.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Chris.
yeah, thanks a lot to our special guest, Chris. The most
Like
generic
Seal.
most generic white guy name ever.
No, dude, that's a Logan or Keegan.
I'm-
Actually, me and
I'm
my buddy have a bit where we call each other really super white names whenever we see each other. Like,
Chad.
yo, Logan, what's up? And then it'll be like, hey, Keegan, like, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, Chad?
Taylor.
Bro? All right, enough of that. This has been the Uneducated Statements podcast. See you guys next week.
Or not.